Thank you, Twinkle. I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Inuit, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. I'd like to introduce the members of the panel this afternoon. They are via Zoom, Ron Merritt and Kevin Stephenson. Myself, I'll be sitting as chair this afternoon. My name is Mike Colatruglio. The administrative personnel is Twinkle Sharma, and the assessment department's personnel is Stephen Lobenstein. To the Zoom participants of the hearing, please note you are placed in the waiting room until your property is called upon. When it is your turn, you will be admitted into the meeting. Kindly follow along the City of Winnipeg's Border Revision YouTube channel for the hearing process. Once the host admits you into the hearing, please close or mute your YouTube player. You will then be permitted to speak with respect to your property. Once your hearing has concluded, you can leave the meeting. We'll be hearing application for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. Board of Revision is appointed annually by council and is independent of it and the city administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if matter pertains to application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all evidence about the application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1 and 2 on our docket today. Ms. Sharma, please affirm the assessors and the applicant's testimony.
For sure. Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Stephen Lobenstein.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to provide at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Howard Lindsay McCubbin.
Do you affirm that the evidence you're about to provide at this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and we'll be starting with the appeal at 615 Henry Avenue. And Mr. Lobenstein, would you like to walk us through your presentation at this point?
Sure. I'll start with the roll number. It's 13096046500. 615 Henry Ave. We have an assessed value of $4,052,000. You can see we have a roll year for 2025, and the reference date's April 1st, 2023. If you work down my page to recommendations, the assessor requested the burden of proof be placed on the applicant for non-cooperation. This is under section 53(3)B of the MMA, or the Municipal Assessment Act. And if a reduction in assessment is ordered, that it follows section 54 of 3.2 of the MMA. So I am seeking non-compliance. They did not send in their income and expense mailer for the reference year. If you scroll down to my page 14, you can see the letter that was sent out. You can see at the top of the letter, it says NM Glacier 2 Canada Corporation. You can see the parent company there, or the LLC company. It's mailed to in the state of New York City, on 7th Avenue. This is the address where all the pertinent information goes: the tax bill, the assessment notices, everything for this property is sent to that address, including the income and expense mailer. You can see on my page 15 the mailer that was sent out with the address and the roll number that corresponds with the address or the appeal today. And also on my page 16, you can see the tenant as well with the roll number as well. And you can see a due date of May 4th, 2023. So they did not send in their income expense mailer. I do not have the registered mail. I don't have the signature or the US mailing label, unfortunately, possibly because it was sent to New York. We never actually got a photo of that. So my evidence today is just showing that we did send out the letter to the mailing address, and we did send out the income expense mailer, and it was never returned. Thank you. That's my evidence.
Thank you very much. Mr. McCubbin, do you have anything to add to this discussion regarding non-co-op?
No, I don't, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Then we will go in camera and we will make our decision based on the evidence that you provided, Mr. Lovenstein. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Gentlemen, we have deliberated and we've ruled we will not be granting the non-co-op. So, Mr. Lovenstein, would you please proceed with your submission this afternoon?
Yeah. Okay. Stated, we have an assessed value of $4,050,000. Moving down the property descriptions, we have 4 buildings. Number of premises is 2 stories, are up to 3 stories. We have the effective years built ranging from 1981 to 2004. We have an overall year built of 2004. We have zoning of M2 general manufacturing. On the land area, 79,615 square feet. We have a planned area of 18,671 square feet and a leasable area of 31,700 square feet. You can see the leasable area is larger than the planned area due to the number of stories on this building. Plan 4.6.
Excuse me, Mr. Lovenstein, your voice is across a bit choppy.
Thank you,
Is the rest
Mr.
of the year, is
Chairman.
everyone else feeling this, is hearing the same as we are here?
Yeah.
Yes, I am, Mr. Chairman. Yes.
Yeah,
So
hear me back.
Stephenson, same thing, yes?
it was choppy.
Choppy?
Still choppy, hey?
Yeah,
Okay, give me a sec.
sure. Just it almost, it's like chopping off
Yeah.
ends of the words and some are being omitted altogether.
Yeah.
Is this any better now?
Sounds better.
So good. Let's see if it causes any further problems. So please continue. Thank you.
Okay. I'll just move down to my page 9.
Okay.
There's a map showing the location. It's on Henry, near the rail yard, sort of in the middle of Winnipeg there. Sutherland's on the other side of the rail yard. You got Higgins nearby, and of course Main Street's not far off. Moving further down, we have some inspection pictures that were taken fairly recently. On the first one on my page 10, you can see the newer office building that was built there, the 3 stories. And also on my page 10, you can see the entrance into the industrial warehouse area. That'll be that blue building. On my page 11, you can see the overhead look. You can see the parking to, that'd be the west or the left of the building. And you can see where some trucks can pull in and out to the right of the property or the east. Another look is on page 12. You can get a better idea of what the property looks like from this angle. You can see the 3-story office property, the warehouse, and the loading bays. And again, on my page 13, there's another angle as well. Now, like I said, there were numerous inspection pictures. I won't go through all of them, but they start on page 17, and they show much of the office space as you scroll through them. The office space will run to page about 28. And then starting on page 29, you can see the industrial warehouses. And again, these pictures will continue to the end of the document. So page 39. So you can look at those through your leisure. Moving back to the valuation, so we're going to be moving up to page 3. So this property actually has 2 income streams. It's got a storage warehouse income stream and the office income stream due to the 2 types of structures that are on this property. So for rent comparables, you can see at the top, we're looking at storage warehouse comparables. We're going to be looking at properties that are of similar size, similar wall height, and similar year built, or the main factors. We're also going to be looking at the lease starts to show that these are fairly up-to-date leases in the market. So, I mean, 2016 and 2015 are a little older, but you have the 2 that are in 2021 as well. The lease terms are 10 years to 3 years to 10 years. You can see the leased areas are 15,000 square feet all the way up to 16,915 square feet. And the wall heights range from 16 feet to 24 feet, and the years built range from 1973 is the oldest to 1987 is the newest. Then we can see the net rents ranging from $7.25 a square foot to $8.50 a square foot. Now these are all net rents that are in the market. Similar with office, we're looking at office under 4 stories here. So we have office properties that range from 12,000 square feet all the way to 24,000 square feet. We can see the net rents ranging from $7 all the way up to $16.61 a square foot. And of course, you can see the year builds range from 1975 up to 1990. So when we scroll down to my page 4, the first income stream we see is the office income stream. We have 18,075 square feet for the leasable area for the office. We're applying $12.83 a square foot. We get a potential rent of $231,902. We're applying a 6% vacancy to the office portion, 3% expenses, and a shortfall of $8. We get a net operating income of $202,772 and an overall capitalization rate of 7.35%, which we apply to the net operating income for an estimated value of $2,759,000 for the income or for the office property. Similar, the storage warehouse is done on income as well. If you scroll down to my page 5, you can see the leasable area is 13,646 square feet. We're applying a rent of $7.45 a square foot. This is, again, a model rent. Our model rents are based off the net market rents that I showed above. We have a potential rent of $101,663. We're applying our 4% vacancy for this industrial property, 3% expenses, $4 shortfall, and a 7.15% capitalization rate, which we're applying to the net operating income to get an estimated value of $1,293,000 for the storage warehouse portion. If you look to my page 6, you can see a summary of these 2 income streams blended together to get our estimated market value of $4,052,000. Moving further along, we're going to the capitalization rate chart on page 7. Office and industrial properties are the top 2 in the chart. For the office, we have a range. I guess this would be considered at 7.35%. It's actually going to be slightly outside of the 20th to the 80th percentile for office properties, mostly due to its location. You're not going to see a lot of office spaces in this location, so we're going to be putting a higher cap rate on it. And then for the industrial properties, you're seeing 20th to 80th percentile ranges between 5.35 and 7.3. So again, you're seeing for the storage warehouse, this is on the higher end at 7.15. And again, it's mostly due to the location and also partially the age of this property that you're going to be seeing a higher cap rate here. And moving forward, yeah, I think that's my presentation for now. So we feel the value should be confirmed at $4,052,000. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lobenstein. Mr. McCubbin, do you have questions of the assessor at this time? You're muted, sir.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Yes, I do. Mr. Lobenstein, if I can get you to turn your attention to page 3, please.
Yep.
So these rents, you chose these rents yourself, is that correct?
That's correct.
To support the model-driven numbers?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And the valuation itself is model-driven, right?
Correct.
Those are all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Questions, Mr. Merritt?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lobenstein, the cap rate, because this property is located on Henry Avenue, you feel as if the cap rate should be the 7.35 and the and the 7.15. Would that take into consideration the location of the subject property?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it here. Normally, if this was in an industrial park, like the Inkster Industrial Park, I'm just focusing on the storage warehouse part here, you would definitely be seeing a lower cap rate, especially due to the age of this property, a 1981 industrial building. I would say isn't considered overly old in our market. I would say that the location of this property is definitely driving the cap rate up. That being said, I don't do a lot in the office department. I don't know a lot about their cap rates, but I mean, that seems like a fairly high cap rate for an office property. It's 7.35 when looking at the chart. I mean, you don't even see it on our capitalization rate chart. So I'm thinking, again, you're not going to see a lot of office properties in the Henry area. So I think that's why you're seeing higher cap rates.
Okay. So there's two things that are going on here. You have a building that's a 3-story, and that is that like the head office there?
I would believe it would be, yeah, that would be the offices. You can see all my pictures of the office space. My document.
Yeah. And also the back part, which consists of, I think, about 13,600 square feet. That's for the manufacturing?
That's the industrial portion of it. So yes, I believe that would be some manufacturing in there for their product, storage for their product, and probably shipping and delivering. Just when I'm looking at the pictures, I didn't inspect this property personally. This was inspected in the past by another coworker.
So the effective age runs from 1981 to 2004. So the 2004 is for the office building, probably?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, was that when it was built?
Yeah, it was built in 2004. It's 1981 was the industrial part, and 2004 for the office part.
All right. I thank you very kindly, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Mr. Stephenson, questions?
Sorry if this is a bit of a redundant question. Is this owner occupied still?
Yes, it's owner occupied.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know. Thanks.
Thank you very much. This is, they manufacture ice here for distribution, correct?
That's my understanding, yeah.
All right. And I think we've got a pretty good taste of what this is. So Those are my questions. So Mr. McCubbin, I'd like to hear your presentation at this time if we could.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chairman. If I can get you to turn your attention to my submission, please. File number 24-3737, 615 Henry Avenue. On the second page, you can see that the current assessed value is in totality is $4,052,000, and we're asking for it to be reduced to $3,537,000. Going directly to page 6. I'm not gonna. I don't think I have to go over the photographs because you've seen them already. So if I can get you to turn to page 8, please. The subject property located at 615 Henry Avenue is formerly known as 1030 Sherbrooke Street, is situated on the north side of Henry at the intersection with Sherbrooke Street. The rear, as you've heard, the rear of the property, the subject property abuts Higgins Avenue. The subject property is best described as a 3-story office property connected to a warehouse and cold storage facility. And actually, they do manufacture ice products there. The subject office building was constructed with steel frame in 2004, consists of plenty of 6,025 square feet over 3 floors, totaling 18,075 square feet. And the warehouse building was originally constructed in 1981 with rigid steel. Steeling consists of 8,250 square feet with a reported wall height of 20 feet. And there was an addition in 1996. Also rigid steel construction. And for a plan and gross floor area of 4,200 square feet. The reported wall height is 20 feet. However, the warehouse has an elevated slab, leaving a clear ceiling of approximately 15 feet. So 15 feet of usable height in that area. The surrounding properties are mostly aged industrial properties, as you probably know. The subject site is rectangular with a total site size reported by the Assessment and Taxation Department of 70,615 square feet or 1.8 acres, zone M2. So, going to page 12 of my presentation. Please ignore page 12 of my presentation. Page 13, we reviewed the following rents. And you can see the rents average $748 and median $750. And this is for the industrial portion of the building, Mr. Chairman. You can see the location of the rents, and quite a wide data set there, quite a bit. And they're located on Burroughs, McPhillips, Eagle, Church, Paramount Road. And you see the relative sizes and on a main floor situation and the relative ages. And so the median is 750, very close to the average. And that's for the industrial portion. I don't think we have to address vacancy. With respect to capitalization rates, and I'm going to cover both parts of the property, Mr. Chairman, with respect to capitalization rate at this point, and maybe my presentation is a little disjointed, but page 17, if you go to page 17, please. With respect to capitalization rate, you can see the capitalization rates that we've used for industrial properties on page 17. And these are actual sales that took place in the market and driving cap rates, as you can see, for industrial properties. Sorry, these capitalization rates are specifically for industrial properties, and they range from a low of 6.27 to a high of 9.01%, and that one is on the Sargent Park area, 1500 Wall Street. Low wall heights, actually, and the sale was in. That's a high cap rate. And the lowest cap rate of 6.27 is located at 1 Warman, and it's got ceiling heights of 14 feet and 28, and yeah, that was originally an industrial. It's used for other purposes now. That's driving a cap rate of 6.27 in that general vicinity. It's a rather large facility. Nevertheless, so based on the above, the average April 2023 compression and capitalization rates for Class A industrial should be between 25 basis points on the higher quality assets. And this can be considered a high quality asset, but it's negativity with respect to this property is its location, obviously. But the buildings are in good condition. So we have reported, we have not seen any compression in non-investment grade properties as of April 1st, 2023 reference date. Moving along, we have reported cap rate ranges for the previous cycle. You can see them investment grade A, which I think this would be considered one of them, to 5.75 to 6.5, and in this cycle 5.5 to 6.25 investment grade industrial. So and on page 10 you can see the factors that affect this property. The factors that affect the capitalization rate. And specifically on this property, it would obviously be the location. And so considering the attached capitalization rate study and the property's specific factors, which is only really the location, in this case, we've applied a capitalization rate of 7.5 to 10 in totality for both uses, like the office and the industrial. So we're keeping it the same. So if you go to my valuation on page 20, just bear with me, please. I'll be right with you, Mr. Chairman, sorry.
Go ahead.
So with respect to the office portion, Mr. Chairman, if you look at page 20 of my presentation, you'll see it was constructed in 2004. The office area in totality is 18,075 square feet, and our rate that we're using to drive potential income for this property is $7.45. And using the inputs for vacancy of 4%, non-recoverable of 3%, and just bear with me, Mr. Chairman. There's something wrong here. Mr. Chairman, can I take a break for 5 minutes, please?
Certainly, that'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome back. Mr. McCubbin, I believe we were at page 20 of your presentation. Would you like to give us the information with how you arrived at your final valuation, please?
Yes, thanks. Thanks, Mr. Chairman. So with respect to page 20, if you look at the bottom of the table there, you'll see the April 1st, 2023 market value of the property in totality is $3,537,000, as I've indicated on page 2 of my presentation initially. So that value is the value we come to, and that's arrived by combining both the office and the warehouse portion of the property as one, and applying a rate of $941 on the total floor areas, arriving at a potential market income of $298,411 in totality for the entire operation. And the other difference, Mr. Chairman, that we have in regards to this property is we've placed one cap rate on the entire operation, the entire property. Sorry, at 7.5, moving it up slightly from the assessment department's highest cap rate that they applied. And we feel that that's appropriate in this circumstance because of the location of the property. And that's my presentation. I'm open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCubbin. Do you have questions for the applicant this afternoon, Mr. Lobenstein?
I have no questions.
Thank you very much. Mr. Stephenson, any questions for the applicant, sir?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Merritt, any questions of the applicant?
I have none, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
And I believe that my questions have been dealt with at this point. So gentlemen, unless you have a summation that you'd like to make, either party?
I have no summation.
I'm good, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, I believe we've concluded this item on the docket, and we will be moving on to the next item. That being 769 Henry Avenue. So, Mr. Lobenstein, would you like to walk us through your presentation on that property, please?
Yes, the roll number is 1309-222-0100. The address is 769 Henry Avenue. We have an assessed value of $4,326,000. Under the property descriptions, you can see there's one building with 3 premises. We have an actual year and effective year built of 2006 and a wall height of 27 feet. The zoning's M2 general manufacturing. We have a land area 51,016 square feet, leasable area 34,960 square feet. There's also a 1,000 square foot basement area as well. And we have a land to plan of 1.65. So if you move down to my page 8, you can see where it's located. We're in the same area as last one. We're on Henry Avenue. Right near the rail yards, in between Sutherland and Arlington and I believe Main Street. Further down, you can see on my page 9 an aerial view of the property. You can see where the trucks and the loading bays are located. You can see where the parking is for the workers, and you get the general idea of the dimensions of the warehouse property. Again, page 9 gives you another more angled view. And on page 10, you can see the side and the rear of the property. You can see the loading bays for the trucks that come in. And of course, the rear of the property as well. On my page 11 is the mailer. You can see it's an owner-occupied property. It's checked off. The mailer will go down to page 14. So they are compliant. They did submit their mailer. Scrolling back up to my page 3, you can see my rent comparables. They're on Logan, Hutchings, Debates, Day, and Omens Creek. I've had to spread out my comparable properties more across the city, partially due to the location. There's not a lot of manufacturing or warehousing in this location. On top of that, for the size of a property, generally it's not as typical in the market. It's on the larger side. So we've had to extend a search for rent comparables. You can see the leasable areas for the rent comparables range from about 30,000 all the way up to 49,000 square feet. The average wall heights range from 14 all the way up to 31,000 square feet, and the years built range from 1980 all the way up to 2000. And then you can see the net rents of these properties range from $8.50 a square foot all the way up to $12. And the lease starts, they started in 2016, and they go up to 2021. So those are the net rents that help to build our model. And now we're going to my page 4, and this is the income workup. So this is all model driven. We've broken it up into 3 different areas. We have the office portion at 2,600 square feet, the warehousing portion at 31,360 square feet, and then there's the basement at 1,000 square feet. You can see the rents we've put on there and the potential rent of 326,540 square feet. Not square feet, $326,540. We apply a 4% vacancy, excuse me. 3% expenses, $4 shortfall to get our net operating income of $298,480. We're applying an overall capitalization rate of 6.9%. And we get an estimated value of $4,326,000. Moving to the capitalization rate chart. This is just an industrial building, so it's second from the top. You can see that cap rate of $6.9% falls within the 20th to the 80th percentile range. It also falls within some of the outside sources there we see. We have Kohler, CBRE, and Cushman and Wakefield. And they have ranges from approximately 5.5 all the way up to 7.5. So this cap rate also falls within their ranges as well. Moving forward, we've gone through the pictures and everything. So we feel that this value of $4,326,000 should be confirmed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Mr. McCubbin, do you have questions of the assessor at this point?
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Lobenstein, with respect to your overall rent used, it is $9.34 per square foot. Is that correct?
I haven't calculated out the blended rent, but I can do that quickly. I'm sure you're correct on that. $9.34, yeah.
Right, okay. And those are all the questions I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Questions, Mr. Merritt?
I have none, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Stevenson, questions?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. And I guess I'll only ask the same question that was asked in the previous property with respect to the cap rate. I'm guessing due to location, you ended up at 6.9% as a result of that, sir?
Yeah, that's correct. With the 2006 build, if it was in a different part of the area within the city, it would have probably a much lower cap rate.
So based on the fact that it's a modern warehouse facility, but in a poor location, guess is the reason why you landed where you did, right?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you very much. Those are my questions. Mr. McCubbin, I'd love to hear your presentation at this point if we can.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Chairman. So, Mr. Chairman, we're seeking a value of $3,800,000. If you look at page 2 of my presentation, please. And just and you've seen photographs of the property. So I'm on page 8 of my report. The subject property located at 769 Henry. It's on the north side of Henry Avenue. We've gone through that already. Its location. The property is best described as an industrial factory that produces rye bread. The building was constructed in 2006 with a leasable area of 34,960 square feet and a wall height of 27 feet, which is a good wall height. The subject site is rectangular in shape, with a total site size recorded by the assessment department of 52,272 square feet, or 1.2 acres. Zoned industrial. Land to building ratio is a little bit atypical. It's lower than usual. Generally, you'd see a land to building ratio in the range of a property like this, 2+. Anyways, so the only difference we're accepting, Mr. Chairman, the assessment department's potential net income for this property with all the inputs in regard to the income summary. The only difference here, Mr. Chairman, is the capitalization rate. We're applying, as in the similar property in this neighborhood, a 7.5% capitalization rate for the reasons I've discussed before. And also with respect to this property, we have a situation with a low land to building ratio. And that's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCubbin. Any questions for the applicant this afternoon, Mr. Lobenstein?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Stephenson, questions of the applicant, sir?
No questions, thank you.
Okay. And Mr. Merritt, any questions?
I have none, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Okay, and basically you have a 0.6% difference in cap rate, and that's the only thing at question at this point, correct, Mr. McCubbin?
That is correct, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. Those are my questions. Gentlemen, is there any summation on either part?
I have no summation.
Neither do I, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. With that, I believe we've heard all items scheduled, and this hearing now is adjourned. I thank you both for your time and your patience on this, gentlemen, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
You too.
Bye.